I'm Bernie Worthington, and my wife Trish and I own Drake's Brook Wines here at Lake Navarino in Waruna. Lake Navarino is in effect the boundary of our property, and Drake's Brook, which flows from Lake Navarino down into the Drake's Brook Weir and then out into the irrigation system and onto the Harvey River or the estuary, forms the northern boundary of our property. So it has a stabilising influence on the climate. That's one thing. Secondly, we're in a really good rainfall area here. It's amazing how much rain we get. We sometimes get more rain than Pemberton. So we constructed this dam here, which is not only the water source for the irrigation for our vineyard, but it's also a really attractive vista for the cellar door. It's an important part of the property, the water and the whole ecosystem that flows with it. If these waterways were to be degraded in any way, it'd be catastrophic. We'd lose the benefit, obviously, of the reticulation for the vineyard. Just for example, we never put fertiliser on the paddock next door, which collects the water, which feeds our dam supply here. For a whole range of things, the degradation would impact socially, economically, and from an agricultural point of view. I think it's a lot of common sense. There's all the well-known issues such as clearing and minimal use of fertiliser. Don't overgraze, don't overcultivate. So they're the sort of the common sense things, but also protect the banks of the rivers with tree lines and replanting. I think we have to have the environment at the forefront of what we do, whether that's growing grapes or growing crops or harvesting the water or using it for aquaculture. We've got trout and marron in this dam here. And again, that sort of helps clean the water. It supplies a food source for a whole variety of other animals, as well as being an attractive feature for the tourists. We have a love with the red-tailed black cockatoos and the white-tails, which frequent here, but the red-tails are here pretty permanently. They come down each night and water on the edge of the dam. Tourists and people concerned about cockatoos and that have got an interest in the birds love it. So in January the 6th in 2016, we were impacted by a really major fire that started at Lane Pool about 25 k's away. 2 lightning strikes early in the morning, and for a whole variety of reasons. It just grew and grew and grew to become one of the biggest fires in WA's history. We were the very first private property, as I'm aware, impacted by that fire, and we were 100% burnt out. The whole vineyard, everything was totally burnt out, and literally within hours of passing through our place, which was about 9 o'clock at night on January the 6th, it had reached the coast at Preston Beach, and they were evacuating people off the beach. And as you remember, Forest Highway is closed for 3 or 4 weeks, and it was a very significant event, and you can still see the effects of it. There's a lot of burnt trees still around, and even though they came back quite quickly, the impact it's something that'll take years and years and years for the environment to fully recover from. One of the main impacts was the sterilisation of the soil because it was so hot. The top couple of 100 centimetres of the soil, all the microbes were destroyed. And all of those things, the water, the soil, go into this thing called terroir, which is a French word, which, it's an all-encompassing thing about the rainfall, the climate, the daylight hours, the soil, the quality of the soil, the water, the quality of the water, the amount of rainfall when it comes. So it's an all-encompassing thing, but it's a universal word in the viticulture industry, and it's important.